and welcome back to Dizzy So and So. This series of videos is going to be about Nerf and Nerf accessories. I don't know about you, but my kids, my nieces and nephews, every child I know is mad about Nerf, and I love it too. Unfortunately, however, Nerf accessories don't go round like this drop leg holster around my large masculine rugby thighs. So what we're going to do today is look at how we can make these a little bit better, and how we can make them for big kids as well as little kids and improve on them. So today we're going to make a drop leg holster. So for this project, making this drop leg holster, this is the Nerf version. It's quite flimsy and the straps aren't long enough, and it's got silly hooks on it, which we're all going to change and make better. But what you need to make it is you're going to need some tactical fabric. Yeah, I've got a couple of varieties here. Yeah, you're going to need some elastic, because on the original you've got dart hoops, but as you can see, both of these have got 6 darts. We're going to have to add a couple there, or 3 even. You're going to need the guns that you're going to make a holster for, so you can make sure it all fits. You're going to need a couple of bits of wide webbing, some Velcro, and what you need is one of these, a creative sheet, transparent. Prim sell them, I'm sure other people sell them as well, but it's basically a sheet of plastic which you can sew through, which makes it really handy for our project. It gives a bit of structure to the holster, so it doesn't flop around like this one. Then of course you're going to need your trusty sewing machine and scissors for your fabric and scissors for everything else. Don't use your fabric scissors on anything else. Okay, let's get started. First step is to find out how much material you need. So if we look at the original drop leg holster from Nerf, it works by wrapping round and hanging down on this hook. So we need to know how much fabric we need to recreate this. So on this particular model, the strong arm, you go around it, just measure around it. You need a good couple of inches, maybe 3 inches, to allow for the Velcro, and just in case you want to change guns later on blasters should I say, you can then adjust it to suit the new blaster. So we're going to go with 13 inches, and then how far up and down the machine, the blaster. So I reckon probably 6 inches there. So what you want to do is cut a piece of your plastic sheeting. I've got one here already cut, by 6 by 13, and then just trim the corners so you haven't got any sharp bits. So we're just going to trim them around the edges. Okay, so now we've cut out our plastic, what we need to do is cut over the fabric to go over the top. And what I've done is marked 1 inch all the way around on the fabric, and we'll trim it down to that, and that will give us a hem, so when he's using it, it won't fray and look really messy. Okay, so the next step is we're going to just do our hem, but before we do our hem, we're just going to fold over the fabric to the line of where the plastic is and give it a good press. And that makes this, when we take it to the sewing machine to sew, it'll be that much easier. So do that all the way around, and then we'll take it to the sewing machine. We're sewing our hem, so what we need to do is sew right down the middle of the fold, all the way around. And top tip, if you leave your needle down at the corners, you can lift your foot and then turn it for a nice neat 90 degree. Okay, so we've done our hem all the way around the edge, which means when we sew it over, it will have a nice folded crease and won't fray. So what we need to do next is get another piece of fabric the size of the plastic and put that on the inside. Then what we're going to do is fold over and sew it again, so that hides all the plastic. But a little top tip is to use a bit of double-sided sticky tape in the middle, just to hold it in place. Now don't put any double-sided sticky tape anywhere the needle's going to go through, because if you do, all the sticky will come off the tape, get onto the needle and block up your machine. And you don't want that at all. Okay, so we're ready to sew now. So we've got our inner fabric, our plastic and our main fabric, and we're going to fold that over with the hem so we don't see any of the plastic. Now we're going to sew through the plastic, as you can see. So set your machine on its slowest setting. You might need to give it a hand. And don't worry about the rounded edges, that's just so the plastic doesn't poke any of the kids. So let's So the machine's not having any problems at all with the plastic there. Some of your older machines, they might struggle a little bit. You just help it with your hands, using the hand. Next step is to sew on the Velcro. So we need one on the outside obviously, and then one on the inside. So if I show you what I mean, you're going to sew it round. So put that one here. So that's where they're going to end up. Okay, so now we've got the main body of our drop leg holster. How a drop leg holster works is that it naturally hangs at that height, so your hand, when it goes down to grab your blaster, is immediately in the right place. So we need to measure then some webbing. So we're going to just attach this with, again, another little bit of Velcro. So give yourself some space for the Velcro at the top. Grab your Velcro, get your son, whoever you're making it for. I'm making this one for me so I can defend myself. Yeah. So I'm going to put mine right there. So if I look down, what I want to mark is the top and bottom of where it hits the body of the holster. And I'm going to cut at the bottom, fold it over and hem it as I attach it to the top, and then sew all the way along each side there and across the top. I might even put a double row of stitches at the top and bottom, just because it's going to be taking a lot of battery. We need a means with which to attach it to our leg. Now I'm just going to use Velcro. You can put a buckle on there if you want, but I'm just going to put a bit more Velcro on there and Velcro it on. So now I need to work out where I want my leg strap. So if I'm holding it down here where it will be, try and get it smack bang in the middle. So that's pretty comfortable at that height. So I'm going to put it smack bang in the middle of the body there with equal lengths. And I'm going to want to stitch it all the way to the top of the blaster here and all the way to the bottom of the blaster. So if I hold that up, there and there, and that will give the holster itself a bit more shape when attached to the leg. Okay, so we've prepared our straps. This is the top strap. The belt will go through there. That will fold over the belt and hold it in the right place. So we need to sew that on here. But before we do that, we have sewed the Velcro onto our leg strap. So we go around our leg. So we need to sew that onto there, like so. And we'll do that for the width of the gun. So if I mark it on there, oops, that's where we're going to mark, that's where we're going to sew to. Okay, now I've sewn on the leg strap, it's time to sew on the belt loop strap. And that just goes straight over the top. Again, you're going to sew all the way around the edges of the webbing that comes in contact with the... So we've put all the straps on and it's looking quite good now. So what we need to do is add a few little loops of elastic to allow us to hold some darts on. Now I've done a little bit of measuring and I've measured it to 1/2 inch gaps. So if you mark on your holster 1/2 inch gaps, and I'm going to do 4 each side. So I'm going to do 4 on this side and then 4 on this side. When working out where to stitch, you don't want it pulling too tight on the Nerf butts because it does damage them if you pull it too tight. So just loosely around the dart, pull the dart out of the way, lay it flat, and then sew over your line. Do that a few more times. Okay, so that's the project complete. And you can see it's turned out pretty well, I think. Hands right in the right position, straight out for a quick draw. I think it works rather well. I hope you've enjoyed making it as much as I have, but I'm now going to go and enjoy wearing it and chasing my kids around the place. Let me know how you got on. Because I had great fun making it and I'm going to have great fun playing with it. Okay, see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe to make sure you see all the rest of the Nerf series of videos.